The snow fell steadily outside the caf window as Nathan Cross sat alone at his usual table, staring at spreadsheets without really seeing them. At 39, he had built a pharmaceutical empire worth billions, but lately the numbers that once thrilled him felt hollow. His marriage had ended 6 months ago. His business partner had retired. He was working 18-hour days because going home to his empty penthouse felt worse than staying at the office. He was ordering his 4th coffee of the evening when the waitress paused beside his table. "You look tired," she said quietly. "Like my husband before he left." Nathan looked up, startled by her directness. She was young, maybe 28, with blonde hair pulled back in a neat bun and eyes that held depths of experience beyond her years. Her name tag read Claire. "I am fine," Nathan said automatically. "Just working late." "That is what he said too," Claire replied, setting down his coffee. Every night, until the day he did not come home at all. There was no accusation in her voice, just a gentle warning from someone who had seen the story before. Nathan found himself asking, "What happened?" Claire glanced around the nearly empty caf. Her shift was ending, and the manager was already waving her off. She hesitated, then sat down across from Nathan. "My husband was a lawyer. Big firm, important cases, always working. I kept telling him to slow down, to come home earlier, to remember. We had a life together. He said he would after this case, after that promotion, after the bonus." Her voice was steady but sad. Then one night, he was driving home at midnight after another late meeting. He fell asleep at the wheel. The accident killed him instantly. Nathan felt the air leave his lungs. "I'm so sorry. It was 2 years ago. I have a 5-year-old daughter, Emma." She barely remembers him. Claire looked at Nathan with those knowing eyes. "When I saw you sitting here tonight, I saw him. Same exhaustion, same way of staring at work without really seeing it. Same belief that just a few more hours, a few more deals, would somehow be enough." "It is not the same," Nathan said, but his voice lacked conviction. "Is not it?" Claire asked, gently. "You have been coming here every night for 2 weeks. You always sit at this table. You always order for coffees and work until we close. You never talk to anyone. You look like you have not slept properly in months." She stood to leave. "I am not trying to be rude. I just recognized someone heading toward a cliff, and I thought maybe you would want to know before you went over it." She walked away, leaving Nathan staring after her. That night, Nathan could not sleep. He kept thinking about Claire's words, about her husband who had worked himself to death, literally. He looked at his life with new clarity: the empty apartment, the neglected friendships, the marriage that had failed because he had been too busy building an empire to build a relationship. The next evening, Nathan returned to the caf. He waited until Claire's shift ended and approached her as she was leaving. "Can we talk?" he asked. "I have been thinking about what you said." Claire studied him, then nodded. "There is a park across the street. My daughter Emma is with my mother tonight, so I have some time." They sat on a bench while snow continued to fall around them. Nathan found himself telling her things he had never told anyone: about the divorce, about the isolation, about waking up one day and realizing he had sacrificed everything meaningful for success that felt empty. "Why did you tell me about your husband?" Nathan asked. "You do not know me." "Because I did not tell him," Claire said simply. "I was too worried about nagging, about being the unsupportive wife who did not understand his career. I stayed quiet until it was too late. If I had been more direct, if I had made him see what he was doing to himself, maybe he would still be here. You cannot blame yourself for his choices, I know, but I can choose not to stay silent when I see someone else making the same mistakes." She looked at him. "You are not my husband, Nathan, but you are someone's colleague, someone's friend, someone's ex-husband who probably wishes they could go back and make different choices. It is not too late for you." Over the following weeks, Nathan found himself returning to the caf not for the coffee, but for the conversations with Claire. She told him about rebuilding her life after loss, about raising Emma alone, about finding meaning in small moments instead of grand achievements. He told her about learning to leave work at reasonable hours, about reconnecting with his sister, about discovering that success without balance was just another form of failure. You are different now, Claire observed one evening. You smile more. You do not look like you are carrying the weight of the world. I am learning from a very wise teacher, Nathan said. Someone who had the courage to tell a stranger an uncomfortable truth. Somewhere in those conversations, something shifted between them. Nathan started bringing Emma small gifts when he visited, books, art supplies, things that made the little girl's face light up. Claire started looking forward to his arrival, finding excuses to take her breaks when he was there. I need to be honest with you, Nathan said one snowy evening 6 months after that first conversation. I did not just come here for coffee or conversation anymore. I came because being around you reminds me what actually matters. You showed me how to live instead of just work. Claire's eyes shimmered. Nathan, I have a 5-year-old daughter and medical bills from my husband's accident that I will be paying off for years. I work as a waitress. You are a billionaire CEO. Our worlds could not be more different. Our worlds were different, Nathan corrected. But you changed mine. You reminded me that time is more valuable than money, that presence matters more than presence, that connection is worth more than any deal I could ever close. He reached for her hand. I'm not asking you to fix me or save me. You already did that by telling me the truth when I needed to hear it. I'm asking if you would let me be part of your life and Emma's life. Not because I can provide things, but because you both taught me how to be human again. Claire looked at their joined hands, tears streaming down her face. When I told you about my husband, I was trying to save you from becoming him. I never expected you to become something more. Neither did I, Nathan admitted. But here we are. Claire nodded. Yes, here we are. 1 year after that first conversation, Nathan proposed in that same cafe, at that same window table. Emma helped him, holding the ring box and giggling with excitement. Claire, you told me I looked tired like your husband before he left. You probably saved my life that night, whether you know it or not. I want to spend the rest of my life proving that I heard you, that I changed, that I learned the difference between existing and living. He took the ring from Emma. Will you marry me? Will you let me be the father Emma deserves and the partner you deserve, not because I have money, but because I finally understand that the only wealth that matters is time spent with people you love? Through her tears, Claire said yes. A tea there. Wedding, Emma was flower girl. In his vows, Nathan said, you saw a stranger heading toward disaster and had the courage to warn him. Most people would have stayed silent. You spoke up and changed my life. Thank you for seeing me when I could not see myself. If this story reminded you that honest words can save lives, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment about when someone's truth changed your path.